We've been covering some pretty important topics in the last few shows that we've done, some kind of serious topics, and we decided since it's the middle of summer, it's 100 degrees, it's humid, we're going to just have some fun. We're going to talk over the course of the next 3 programs about women putting themselves together. And if you are a woman out there and you are, whether you work, whether you're running to the supermarket, whether you're just a not terribly overscheduled person, the fact of the matter is a woman has still got to get up, put herself together, and that involves 3 things. We've got hair, we've got makeup, and we've got wardrobe. And every once in a while, I know I do, and maybe you do too, we just get a little bit bored with who we are, how we look, and we want to go for a change. Well, this program today is going to take us into a place that I don't think you've seen before. My issue, personally, has always been my hair. It's been too thin to do anything with. I've tried to grow it a number of times and with very, very little success. If you've watched some of my programs, I don't have to go into a great deal of explanation about this. Anyway, we thought it might be fun to let you know about one of the best kept secrets in Berks County. We like to bring you those sort of things. And we decided we were going to explore the world of hair extensions. That's right, it's not just for Paris Hilton anymore. So we went to an expert in our community, and I was asked around to all of the hairdressers that I knew of in the community, and one name kept coming up again and again and again, and that is Grace's Golden Comb. So today, I don't have a guest in studio. You're going to join me as we go through a day at Grace's Golden Comb and the hair extension process. So where do we begin? Everything begins with an interview, and we're going to go, and I'm going to share my journey with you. Let's talk to Grace.
First thing I do is ask the lifestyle, because it depends on the lifestyle. It's what the hair, what kind of hair they would like. If it's long, short, medium length. And then after we get to know the lifestyle of a person and how easy, carefree they want it to be, or if they're a hair person to really work with hair and take care of hair, the next thing we go to is the color. Okay. And how much hair, how long would you like it? And then I tell them about the different methods that I do. I do 10 methods, but I concentrate on 3. It's our platinum, our gold, and our silver. The platinum is great length. Great length is not chemically curled or colored.
Great length is the manufacturer of this hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you first go through lifestyle.
Yes.
You find out if there's somebody that wants to play with their hair.
Yes, or somebody just want hair that they can put it up and go.
That would be me. So that was one of the things we determined. I don't have time to fool around with my hair.
Right. Okay. And then we want to know if they want thickness or do they want length.
Can you have both?
Yes, you can have both. Okay. But if you want thickness, we can just go all through your hair and just fill it in some.
Thickness to basically stay the same length that you would be. That's what you mean? Okay.
Yes, and just make it full.
Okay.
Make it stand out and be full. Okay. Then we order hair the same length as your hair, or if it's not the same length, then we can cut it once we get it in.
Okay.
But if you want length, then we have to start building the length from the back, the nape of the neck.
Okay.
We have to start back here, and because if you notice, this is where your thickness of your hair comes from, the weight. It's right in this back here. You have more hair here than you have anywhere else on your head.
Okay.
From your ear down to your neck.
Okay.
This is where we build. Now, to make sure that we're putting this in, we have to comb through the hair, and we have to find the different colors in here. No person have one color hair, or 2.
Even naturally, even?
Naturally,
right.
No. It's all mixed with different colors here, unless they color it one color, and then from the sun, the wind, the rain, whatever, it's going to change some of the hair. The hair is always going to be lighter on the top.
Okay. When you are doing someone who has obviously highlighted hair like mine does, you have them have that done before they come in for this procedure?
Yes, or they can come in and I can do it before, or they can go to their regular hairdresser and have it done before, because I have to know what color the hair is before I order the hair.
Okay.
All of this hair is custom ordered. It's not stopped.
You don't have a big warehouse of hair, back here.
It's stopped.
And what happens now, tell me about this, when you go to order hair, there's a certain range of colors that...
Yes, we can go from jeweled red.
It might be a little busy for day for me.
Okay, it'd be fine for night and holidays.
There you go.
We have the jeweled purple and the green and the blue.
Okay.
This is for, most people wear this hair, they are in the limelight.
Entertainment type
Of people.
So, but this even this kind of a seemingly bizarre color, if it's used as a highlight,
yes, we
has
use a lot of that.
effect.
Yes, we use it as highlights.
Okay.
And I use a lot of it during the holidays.
Okay.
Then we come back to our blackest of black, which is a 1B.
Okay.
And if you notice, that is not jet black.
No, it's not.
No, 1B. Number one is jet black. That's the darkest.
Where does this hair come from? Is this human hair?
It's human hair.
Okay.
It's made, they buy it from India.
Okay. Well, there's some long hair growing there. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
This hair is grown in India.
So in some way, are we helping the women of India by, this is an income stream, a revenue stream for them?
For sure it is,
Yeah,
yes. Women in India has very little value.
Yeah.
So this is a way they can survive and support their families, or sometimes to get out from under the oppression that they're
Excellent.
under. So, and then there's two. Then we go to the lightest, which is 59.
Okay. And this is not chemically treated hair.
No, no. It's done with some kind of process. They go through hot water.
With water, maybe like teas or a wash or.
I don't
something
know,
they
but
do.
it's permanently done.
And it's not not a chemical color.
No.
Okay.
And then if you want permed hair, it takes me about 3 weeks to get it, because they will perm it when I order it from the company. They don't have
Open up a bag of curls.
Yes. Now I want to show you another type of hair that we get that's stopped in a warehouse, and we get it when we order it.
Okay. Now we chose, for me, I have highlighted hair, so we're actually going to be using 3 different colors on me. So we got these 3 different colors, and she's going to weave these together and make it look sort of like what I have right now. Feels really, really good.
It was a delightful day at Grace's, and we were talking, of course, about Miss Grace Davies, who has been a businesswoman in Berks County for many, many years. She has mentored many young women in the business community. So in addition to being a very, very skilled specialist, very highly trained specialist, and actually is a trainer of this procedure that you're going to see today with me, she also has been a tremendous contributor to the community of businesswomen, and we want to absolutely acknowledge her for that. Not everybody is going to have the same kind of procedure, the same kind of need. Some people like to date, some people like to get married. Some people like to date for 2 weeks. So we looked at all the different kinds of hair extensions and the different types of hair supplements that you could get. The procedure that you're going to see today is what is the most labor intensive, takes the longest to get done, and subsequently lasts the longest. If, for instance, you have a special event like a prom, and you only need a one-day big hair do, or a special, just something a little bit special, there is a one-day. There's another procedure that if you want to maybe go 2 weeks. There are alternatives, and it depends on the type of hair that you have and just how busy you want to get with it. So we're going to, I asked Grace about the different kinds of procedures that can be done, and this is what she showed me.
Now we can put this in a couple different ways. This comes straight, and it comes curled, but it's chemically processed. Oh, here's the end here. Now, a lot of clients like to get this sewn in.
Sewn in?
Yes.
Sewn to their own hair. Okay.
Right. There's a couple ways of doing it. I do no pole, no glue when I do it. I go through with an instrument, and it's like a upholstery thread. And I make little ponytails all through your hair, then I go back and tack this in.
My word. There are not a lot of people in our community that do this, are there, Grace?
No.
This would be you, isn't it?
Then another way to do it, and a lot of people do this method even at home. The other method I told you about, the little ponytails and tacking it in, I'm the only one around to do that. Now, this method, where they braid little braids through the hair, and you'll see this a lot on commercials and magazines and things like that, because then they sew this little piece of hair onto a braid.
Do they braid it like you see,
Yes.
little
Yes.
like cornrows, for lack of a better word?
Right,
So it's those
right,
little
like
braid.
little braid
so
cornrows.
It makes something to anchor it
Right.
too.
Yes,
Okay.
and then they sew that on.
Is there a difference between how long this lasts and the procedure you're going to do
Oh,
with
yes,
me?
yes.
Is this more temporary
On
or
a
more?
Caucasian lady, this will slip out in about 2 weeks.
Okay. So this is a party thing.
Right.
This is a date,
And
not
then
a marriage.
another way, like you see all your movie stars, and sometimes when they have extensions, we have a bonding. This is a bonding adhesive that we put this on this, and then we press it against your scalp
Instead of the sewing.
instead of the sewing, and that makes it lay real flat.
So this would get you through a wedding and a honeymoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that
Right.
will get you through that.
Isn't that fascinating? So you don't have to go through the whole, you don't have to be committed for the end of time. It's safe and it's fun if you want to just try something on. Now, this is not a simple procedure. I did not realize when I went in and started this procedure, I didn't care, it ended up being a delightful day, but I didn't realize how long this was going to take and how physically strenuous this is for the operator to do. I ended up spending total almost 12 hours in that chair. And during that period of time, you best like the person on the business end of a, of a hot iron, and also to spend that time bonding and having an opportunity to get to know someone like Grace Davies was really, really a privilege for me. There's a lot of preparation work that goes into it, and because we wanted to be able to bring the show to you at this part of the season, we kind of accelerated the process a little bit. So you're going to see now some of the procedure that Grace goes through. Generally, if you are getting this done and coming into the shop, she will already have this prepared, but it's kind of a fascinating process. So let's have a look at what goes into the procedure before the hair ever even gets near you. It's pretty neat to watch. Have a look. So there's a kind of a temporary thing that is good. Now, I want to, my objective when I came and talked, I said, I don't want to mess with, I want to be able to put it in a ponytail. I don't want to have to use a lot of product. I'd like to actually be able to just do it and go.
Well, this...
Which you cannot do when you have hair.
No.
This is me undone.
Right.
But I've been growing. And midlife is not necessarily the best time to start growing your hair.
That's right. Your hormones change.
But,
and everything slows down, even your memory.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Gee, I might have known that once, but I forgot. Now we're going to do what is the top of the line procedure here today.
This is the top of the line.
Okay.
It's called Great Lengths.
Okay.
And
now,
it comes
can you get a close-up on this, because this is...
And this is a solid form of protein. Okay. Protein is what your hair is made of.
Okay.
Hair and your nails and all is protein, keratin.
This little piece here is protein?
This is protein.
Okay, can you see that close up? We want to make sure you get a close up of that little tab.
Now, from putting a big piece in your hair like that to come like this, we're going to cut that in half, then we're going to cut it in half again. So this is the size that's going in your hair.
It's going to be a long day, isn't it?
It's going to be a long day, but not as long as you think.
How long and how long is this going to, this procedure is the longest lasting of all the ones?
7 months.
7 months?
7 months. And I have discovered that you never have to take all of this out. Say in 5 months.
Look at this little hookup.
In 5 months, you will maybe see one or here or there, falling out, shedding out. But that's the difference in that. You brush your hair with that and hair comes out like crazy.
All over the place.
All over the place. Believe me, I know. I had kids to wear hair extensions, and the plumber had to come every week.
I bet your house had hair all over. We'll get into more about that later, but I'm just talking about this procedure. Were your own daughters your first subjects when you were learning this?
No.
Have you ever had them?
No.
No,
I've never had them.
Cute. One of the things that when you make a commitment like this and go through all this, especially for me to actually hold still and stay in a chair that long, one of my concerns was what's going to happen. Am I going to have to worry about them just dropping out and falling out at inopportune times? And that was actually kind of an interesting thing. Grace went to great lengths to reassure me. Here's what she has to say about hair loss and shedding and all that kind of thing. Kind of neat.
Every day you're going to brush your hair with this.
Oh, my hair. Is this going to in any way stop my own hair from growing?
No.
Any damage that can come to my own hair from this?
No. Your hair will shed every day. You know that.
It's going to do that anyway. Right?
Yes. So when I put this on, the hair that I put it on, some of that hair is going to shed. So when I take it out, naturally you're going to see some of your hair. But that's the hair you would have lost anyway.
The average person loses, what, about 100 hairs a day?
100 strands a day, yes.
Whether they're married to me or not.
One of the questions that I had, one of the things that with the kind of hair that I've had, if you have thin hair, as I did, you go and maybe buy some of these products that you think you're going to beef it up and hold it in place, and that doesn't always happen. So the texture of your hair has a great deal to do with what kind of product that you can use, and I couldn't use any of them. So I was kind of looking forward to seeing if maybe I could kind of get in on the use of product. There are certain materials, though, that when you first get your hair done that are recommended by the company, and so let's look a little bit about how you take care of this once you get it home, kind of like a puppy.
Say, well, I'm going to wear this until it's no good, and then I'm coming in till I've got my wear out of it, and then I'll go in and have it done all over again.
Right.
Then a month before you do that, likely to stop using this.
Okay.
Because it takes longer to take this out than it does to put in. I want you to know that too.
Okay.
This is not an easy process.
Okay. It's not to be entered into lightly. This is a commitment.
No, it's a commitment, but I'll tell you, no one will ever know you're wearing it. You won't
except the 800,000 people in Berks County that are watching me get it done, but it's our little secret.
So, what do you think? Does it look like it's something you might want to do? As I mentioned before, let me just do a little program note here. This is the BCTV program that's all about wellness. It's about your health, it's about wellness, and we call it Work at Wellness because things just don't happen, by themselves. You actually have to go out and seek out the resources and the things that are going to help you feel the way that you want to feel about yourself. That's really what all of this is for. Some people it's hair, some people it's face, some people it's body, some people it's wardrobe, some people it's makeup. But all of us have our issues, and this includes men too, of things that just make us not quite feel as good as we want to feel. And so that's what this little series is about. And like I said, we're going to be out on the road, and we're going to be doing hair and makeup and wardrobe. Coming up in the next couple of months, the next thing that we're going to do, just a little program note for you to mark the date. We are on the third Friday of every month, so the next group that we're going to see are some ladies that are going to help us with makeup. And we went out on the road, and there are some fine makeup people in Reading. And then following that, the following month, we're going to be talking about wardrobe, and we have an expert there that we went to see. So by all means, you may want to plug in a tape and do the 3-part series, and as we start to move toward fall, then you'll remember all of the things that we showed you, and you can start on your own little renovation and your own little makeover. It is possible, and we have some really talented, really wonderful people here. So what actually happened to me when I was in that chair? We're going to sit back, and I'm going to show you just how artistic and how intricate and how exhaustive a process that this was. And I want to also acknowledge at this time my camera person here from BCTV, Alicia, has been running the streets with me and doing all this kind of thing, and this was a really interesting thing to try to tape because it was because of the length of time. So after the video camera stopped, my own intrepid assistant Connie was there for the whole procedure, and she took pictures of the sequence as well, and we're going to share those with you in a little bit. But let's just watch Grace. This is a master at work. Have a look. Now what she's doing, this is a hot gun. You saw the little piece of it looks like plastic, but it's actually a protein. So she takes a teeny tiny little bit of a strand, and what she's doing right now, she's heated that little connecting piece, and it liquefies, and then she takes her fingers and runs it down and kind of flattens it out, because otherwise it would be a lot of little, what she calls hot dogs. If she didn't take that extra little step and smooth it with her fingers, then there would be a lot of, actually a beading kind of thing that you would see, so we don't want that. But it's a very, look at that, teeny, 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 tiny. And again, as Grace mentioned, you go to your regular hairdresser. If you have highlighted hair, ordinarily you're going to want to go to your own stylist and have that highlighting done exactly the way you are accustomed to having it done, so that when you go in for your initial interview with Grace, she will interview you about all kinds of things. And she talked about that earlier. Your lifestyle. How much time do you have to mess with your hair? You know, how often are you going to have to do touch-ups? Now, again, because of the fragile nature of my hair, it's very difficult to keep coloring it because it is so fragile, and you do get a lot of breakage. So if that's the problem that you have or something that you have, having a multi-textured color scheme in your hair. I have some real light and also some real dark, and it really does help let that hair processing last a little bit longer. And so I went to my hairdresser. My regular hairdresser is Deb Rabick over at Studio 61. And again, she is one of the hairdressers, excellent reputation in town. Your own hairdresser, I'm sure, would say the same thing. It's very nice that there is a professional referral that can go on in our community. It's we as the consumers that benefit from that kind of cooperation. But when you're really good at something, you get acknowledged for it, and that's always nice to see. So here we are. We're continuing along. Teeny tiny. Can you imagine? One of the other things that Grace mentioned, and I think it's important to mention it again, is that this is human hair, and this is grown by women. It's taken from women in India who do this as a profession. They've been blessed with it, and they can, can grow it, can sell it, and it's an income stream for it. So it was important to me to have a little bit of social consciousness in doing something that, could be seen as blatant vanity. But here's what I have to say about blatant vanity. It's not the people who feel good about themselves that are causing the problems in the world. Just think on that for a little bit. If you are a caller out there while we're looking at this procedure, we'd be happy to hear from you, or if there is anything that you see on our programming here at BCTV, I'll give you the viewer call-in line, and that is 610-378-0426. Again, you can call BCTV. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we have here in our community, and we can bring you special features on people in our community who are doing something just a little bit interesting, just a little bit more, just a little bit different. You need to know, and this is the kind of programming that we like to bring to you here on Work at Wellness. And there it is. Very, very, very detailed. And again, the procedure is to hide the connections, and it's amazing how intricate this work is. Amazing how intricate it is. And during the course of the day, of course, you do take breaks. You're not obligated to just sit there in the chair for the entire 8 hours. You stand, walk around, and chat. But by the end of it, I had nothing but the highest respect for Grace and for the procedure that she did. And it was a very warm and comfortable environment, actually. So anyway, this is one way. The method that I had done was the longest lasting. It should last for about 7 or 8 months, as she said. There are more short-term things that you can do with your hair. And so I think what I'd like to do, again, our camera person certainly couldn't stay there the whole day with us, so we have a little bit of an idea for you of just what it's like to have a day at Grace's Golden Comb. Let's have a look. So there you have it. I wanted to mention that we are going to be doing a number of shows on the road, and what we're going to do next month, we're going to be seeing Grace again. Pardon me. One of the programs that we'll be bringing to you in the fall, closer to Christmas time, is we're going to be addressing the issue of pets and the impact that pets can have on wellness. And that really is kind of an interesting thing, and Grace is singularly qualified to discuss that, and we'll save that interview for another time and get her in here to talk to you about that. Just lots of little dogs, and they've made a significant impact in her life. We are going to be going to Boscov's next time and looking at a makeup event there with some of the makeup artists there. Then we are going to be meeting Cindy Hess, who is a clothing consultant with a company called Doncaster, does something really cool called a trunk show, and you're going to get to see what that is like. It's a whole new way of shopping, very personalized service. And again, these are just suggestions, they're just ideas. There are lots of ways that you can improve yourself. Maybe it's something a little bit more exhaustive. Maybe it's a plastic surgery, something like that. But we want to be a resource for you here. This is what Work at Wellness is about. And at the end of the show, you'll see a graphic that you can get a hold of me. I do ask and encourage you to do that. And so we hope that you are getting through this summer. It's a long and exhaustive one, and it's hot, 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 hot. But if there's a little something out there that's hanging you up that you don't want to deal with anymore, you can change it. The most important thing about doing something is that you first have to believe you have the right to look and feel the way that you want to feel about yourself. And I guess the question that you need to know is, was it worth it for me? I think so. I've always wanted to do this. Now I can. Anyway, we hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and I thank you so much for being with me and sharing a little bit of girl fun, and we'll see you again next month. Until I see you again, be well. Thanks.